Gives me great pleasure to introduce to you all Marcelo, who was in the studio today watching the game with us. You've just witnessed Arsenal a very convincing 3-0 performance against Monaco. Your initial thoughts on the game?
You know, I'm happy. Obviously, really important for us to get 3 points, given how tight the Champions League table is. A really frustrating first half, as we all know. We could have had 3 or 4 goals. We were scared that that might come back to haunt us, but thankfully, even though Monaco did turn up, started the second half, we got the job done. So at the end of the day, clean sheet, 3 points, 3 goals, happy. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the first half. I was going to ask you, so, you know, nicely into that. 1-0 in the first half, but we missed several chances. We were very profligate, I would say. And it wasn't just Jesus either. It was a few of them that missed chances. How worried were you that, you know, you might get to the second half and we're paid the price for not finishing those chances?
I was worried because it is one of those, you know, age-old cliches in football. Like, if you don't take your chances, you're going to be punished. And Monaco's a decent team. They have a really good coach. So, yeah, there was always going to be a risk. And, you know, we aren't even used to getting that many chances as of late. So, like, from open play, we've been struggling. So, yeah, definitely nervous about that. And like I was saying, Monaco started the second half really strongly. So, frustrating that we couldn't get a second one before the half, yeah. 2
of those chances fell to Gabriel Jesus, 2 excellent chances. Now, I think it's fair to say his goal-scoring record at the moment is mediocre at best. Some people would use another term to describe it. But listen, I'm kind of feeling sorry for him. It's kind of getting to that stage where I've actually gone past the stage of trying to slag him and being overcritical. What do you put it down to? Is it just confidence, or has he lost it? Is it a combination of both? What do you think? Because he just doesn't look like he's going to get a goal at the moment.
Nah, I think that it really is just down to the fact that I think deep down he knows where his place in the pecking order is. And that's pretty low now. You know, he's never going to be starting over Havertz, I think, in our major games. And so, yeah, that's going to take an effect on his confidence for sure. But also from the fans' perspective, it's frustrating because when you finally get a chance, you got to take it. And he had 2 of them. Now, again, the first one was a much better chance than the second one, I would say. But yeah, when you're not getting a lot of opportunities, man, you got to be finishing that first one. It's a half volley, just bang it, put a little oomph on it and get it past the keeper. But he didn't manage to. So it's not good for him. You know, he needed that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It was disappointing. And like I said, I actually feel a bit sorry for him because it's gone past the stage now where you just criticize him. You're thinking, come on, man, just get a goal from somewhere, you know. At the other end of the spectrum, we had a guy start today. I know you're a big fan of his, Lewis-Skelly. He came on, he played today. I thought he had a very good game. I was actually a little bit surprised he came off in the 61st minute. I'm sure there's some method to what went on. Yeah. What did you think of his performance today?
I think he was brilliant. I think Miles Lewis-Skelly is a dog. There's no other way to put it. Yes, you know, he had the pass that led to the first goal, and we saw that in the Carabao Cup against Bolton. He's capable of that line-breaking pass. But I think you have to look way beyond the pre-assist, the pass before the assist itself. There were 3 or 4 occasions where he gets knocked over and he's on the ground under pressure. He still manages to keep his balance and get out of these tight situations. So for an 18-year-old to be moving like that in the Champions League, it's not normal. Like, you can't normalize that. You know, I think Saka's tricked us into thinking that we can get these wonder kids that are just ballers from the off. But like, Lewis-Skelly is different breed. So yeah, for me, Saka obviously takes man of the match, but for me, Lewis-Skelly, for what he brought in, was huge. And quickly on the minutes bit, yeah, I think maybe he should have played some more minutes, but because he's only 18, we do have to be mindful of his, you know, how much play he's getting. And, you know, you look at Wilshere, who's like the guy that made me fall in love with Arsenal. If his minutes were better managed, he might have had more longevity in his career. And Lewis-Skelly has a long-term future at Arsenal. So I am glad that we're being careful with him for the sake of his career. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. You mentioned Saka. It's only right we talk about him. I thought he was man of the match. Indeed, he was adjudged to be the official man of the match. 2 goals today, could even have been 3. But another excellent performance from our go-to guy.
Yeah, you know, they always said, what is he gonna do? You know, can he do it in the Champions League? What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now, bro? Like, if you look at the numbers, I don't have it off the top of my head, obviously, but goal contributions between last season's Champions League and this season, I think he's top 3. he's among the elite now. Like, people are still talking about him like, oh, he's getting there. What more can you ask him to do at this point than do what he's doing? His numbers don't lie. And even without it, he's always making an impact one way or another. So, yeah, Saka is the star man now. He is the face of the Arsenal, and he's been the face of this club for a number of years now. So we're just blessed that he's ours, man.
No, absolutely. 100% concur with that. I did ask Turkish this. He was a bit non-committal. But based on what you've seen, this is match day 6 of the Champions League. Arsenal have now ascended to 3rd place. So we've had a good look at them compared to some of the other teams. How do you think we're shaping up so far in the Champions League? Do you think we can go on and really make a fist of it in terms of either winning it or going far? Are you confident about that?
Yeah, I definitely am confident. I think that the main thing for me is, how are we going to cope with the pressure once you get to the knockout stages? Because I look at the Bayern game specifically, and we made a number of mistakes that were reflective of a team that had not had Champions League experience before. So hopefully, with that experience under our belts now, we can take it one step further and avoid shooting ourselves in the foot like like the Arsenal of old. But yeah, we can definitely make a deep run. It's, again, just a matter of, can we be fit at the right time and keep these key players available? That'll be the key difference for me. But with this new experience, I'm confident that we can go far, yeah.
Okay, and we talked about Lewis-Skelly and we talked about Saka. Any other guys impress you tonight?
Lewis-Skelly and Saka, yeah, they were brilliant. I don't think, to be honest, anyone else did make a great showing of themselves. I mean, you got to give credit to Havertz. He pressed when he came on, he was effective. He pressed Monaco into making a mistake for the second goal. He cheekily claimed the third one, and you and I were talking about how I think that low-key that was an own goal, but any striker's going to claim any touch they can get, so you can't fault him for that. Yeah, I think Havertz was good.
I thought Partey looked all right, in midfield.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, from right back, he did all right. He didn't get threatened too much, I think. He didn't have to do all that much defending.
Sorry, I said midfield.
Oh, yeah,
it's right back.
Right back. Yeah. And there was that one nice ball he played into the box in the first half where Martinelli had not an easy chance, but he found Martinelli really well. And yeah, he was decent. I will give credit to Jesus, man, for that assist he gave to Saka. And I think, though, that, again, that reflects what Jesus is, where he's most effective now. And it's the same as he was at City when he fell down the pecking order there. He's more of a winger than a striker. He's not a clinical finisher. And yeah, he drifted out wide. Lewis-Skelly found him and he played a really good ball into the box. So credit to Jesus for, even though it wasn't going his way, he still impacted, and that was the winning goal. It was the first goal and they didn't equalize. So yeah, but in general, it wasn't a great night for us as a whole. There were a lot of sloppy moments from Rice, Saliba, Kivior, across the board really. So not too much to write home about, but 3 points and 3 goals.
It was interesting really, wasn't it? Because although we won 3-0, and I do think that we were deserving of the 3-0, you're right. In terms of players that stood out, really, Lewis-Skelly and Saka stood out. But there's not a whole lot of other guys. I mean, even Odegaard was another one of our go-to guys. I would say that he wasn't at his normal level today.
Yeah, it was a little frustrating at moments to see. I think there are just moments where he'll receive the ball and instead of driving forward, he might cut back and sort of slow down the tempo a bit. And I won't be surprised if that's in part instruction from Arteta. There were also a couple moments where he's capable of curling one in. He hasn't really shown it, but with his technique, you'd think he's able to. He's a little hesitant when he gets into the box to put a strike on target. And yeah, he had that one shot in the second half where that's his trademark, a cutback first time effort, but it went straight at the keeper. So yeah, he wasn't at his influential best, but again, it's one of those games where we didn't have to rely on him to be at his best. So it's good when we're not talking about Odegaard as the engine. So those are important as well.
Quick word about Martinelli, because a lot of people were focusing on him coming into this game. They said he needed a good game. Did he provide that, in your opinion?
No, overall, I would say that he didn't. I think there were a couple good moments in the first half where he did well to find a ball that was then played into the box. I think there were a couple times he linked up with Marino nicely. And again, a left-footed midfielder, that can happen when you put him next to Martinelli. But, there was that one chance played into him from Partey where he could have done better, put it on target. There was that offsides chance where you got to put that in the back of the net because you don't know if VAR might call it back. VAR might tell you it's a goal in the end. And then, I think it was the right decision not to send him off. In the Premier League, those referees would be very happy to pull out the second yellow. So I think he was a little bit overzealous, a little overly eager to make up for, a couple sloppy moments where he had those fouls he shouldn't have committed maybe. So yeah, overall a frustrating night for him, but I'm far from writing him off as a problem.
He did get past the fullback, his opposing fullback, a couple of times early in the second half.
Yeah, he did. So we know he's capable of that. So yeah, it's good. It wasn't all bad news, but we still want to see him being more impactful for sure.
Absolutely. And just moving on very briefly to the game, another massive game against Everton, must-win game. Would you make any changes to the team tonight?
That's a good question. Well, I think it all depends on how fit Timber is, because he came off the bench today. So that to me indicates that he's going to be fit to start on Saturday. So 100% I would start Timber at right back. And, I'm more than happy to keep Lewis-Skelly starting at left back. So yeah, I think the one change I would make is starting Timber ahead of Partey at right back. You could argue to start Partey in midfield, but I actually want to see more of the midfield of Rice, Odegaard, and Merino. I think Merino wasn't at his best either tonight, but again, everyone was sloppy. I think Merino deserves more minutes with Odegaard and Rice alongside him. So I would keep it unchanged. Well, I would put Havertz back in for Jesus.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, Timber at right back and Havertz at striker, but that's it.
And if we do manage to beat Everton, do you think the title is on? I mean, a lot of people have expressed views to the contrary. They seem to think we may have missed our opportunity. I haven't had a chance to ask you. What do you think?
I don't think it's over. I think we still have a chance. I think that as long as we are within 4 to 6 points of Liverpool by the time we go to Anfield in May, anything is possible. The issue obviously is that Liverpool has a chance now to extend their lead after our draw against Fulham. And really, every time we drop points, it becomes exponentially more difficult for us to catch up. So I think the odds are very unlikely, but I'm not going to write it off yet. I think if we win all the games we need to win and hope that Liverpool will slip up, we can get back in it. But again, that's us depending on Liverpool slipping up, and they're in incredible form. So they haven't really shown any signs of doing that,
Okay, Marcelo, thank you very much for your thoughts.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.